Good evening to all of you. Last session we have started file handling in C. Let's take a brief review what we have learned. Need is that storing the data permanently and retrieval as per the need. That is the basis of, that is the intention of handling the file in C language. I have told you that it is a stream of bytes as far as C language is concerned. It is a stream of zeros and ones. I talked about text file and binary file. So there are two types of files in C. One is a text file, another is a binary file. We will be dealing with two files, both of these. As far as text files are concerned, the data is stored in text format. What do you mean by text format is that? So what I mean by text files and binary files is that though data in text files as well as binary files is stored in 0 and 0 format, their storage format is different. As an example I gave you last time, if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is to be stored in text format, then ASCII value of 1 will be stored, ASCII value of 2 will be stored, ASCII value of 3 will be stored, and so on. So suppose 8-digit number is there, then on the hard disk 8 bytes will be occupied. But on the contrary, if 8-digit number is stored, which is an integer, and if that compiler is taking 2 bytes of 4 bytes of memory, then in the binary format, this same number will be stored in only 4 bytes, not as a 8 bytes. So as far as text file is concerned, each byte is considered as a character. So that is basically the difference. So whenever particular file contains large amount of numbers, in that case binary format is, a binary file is preferred. Second reason is that text file is stored as a text file and security is not there. Whereas when you store any file in a binary format, suppose that file contains passwords, right? Then when you store this file in a binary format, nobody can open that file from outside and see those passwords. So in that case, this binary file is useful. As far as security is concerned, binary files are important. Rather binary mode, not binary files, because it has got extension at .bin, and those cannot be opened and see that data, because uh, that is not in a readable format. I will show you that how that is not in readable format. These are common file handling operations. So creating a new file, opening an existing file, reading from the file, writing to a file, then moving to a specific location in a file and closing a file. Out of these 6 operations, rather first 5 operations you can say, the second one, that is opening a file, is very important, because whether you want to read it, whether you want to write it, whether you want to update it, whether you want to append it, whether you want to make modifications, whatever you want to do, you have to open the file. So that is one of the mandatory operation in any file handling program. At the same time, the last step, which is closing a file. So these two operations are bound to be there, opening a file and closing a file. What is the necessity of that? I have told you, again I will repeat in this session as well, or you can say in each session after today's session, I am going to repeat it always. Why? Because you need to understand that operation very carefully. This is a typical file structure. So number of data members are there. It is a type def. As I last time I showed you, each implementation of C, depending upon the compiler, depending on the IDE, depending upon the operating system. This file structure varies, but it is not our concern. What is important for us is to create a file pointer. That's it. So whatever might be the data members of that file structure, that is concern of that library developers who has written various file handling functions. So this is a typical varies from compiler to compiler. Now, what is the description? Brief description of these data members is written over there. Like the name of the file is stored in the data member, size of the file is stored in the data member. What is the buffer size? What is the current position of the pointer? That end of the file marker. Okay, that all data is stored in this file structure. One of these data member is important, which I'm going to talk about in today's session. Note that this is a typical structure as what we have tried to write our own user-defined structure in our structures in C chapter. So you can recall how we used to write the structure and how we used to assign the values to the structure members. Here we do not assign values. Why I will come over there very shortly because very important concepts I'm going to talk on that today. And students have got these queries, but these are unsolved during your college lectures or even online sessions or videos and like that. One query about file structure is that why you cannot assign values to the file structure data member. There is a reason. Reason is that there are various kind of pointers I have talked about, like a normal pointer, like an integer pointer, float pointer, character pointer. I have talked about the null pointer as well. I have talked about the dangling pointer. I have talked about the void pointer. So various types of pointers are there. One more type of pointer is a opaque pointer. So this basically file pointer is a opaque pointer. What is the meaning of that? The opaque pointer is a pointer which you cannot use to access data members of a structure. That's why that pointer has been the opaque pointer. Otherwise, all other structures we write and we create a pointer, and using that pointer and arrow operator, we used to access the data members of a structure, if you can recall. But since the file pointer is an opaque pointer, you cannot access those data members of a file structure. And that intentionally they have kept it like that. There is an intention. They want to hide everything from you except the facility given by the file structure. And as a programmer, we want just facility, that's it. So we should not peep into that. You are not allowed to peep into that. You are not allowed to see how that structure is manages all these things. So that's it. We have seen that basic terminology. We will have a brief review within 5 minutes. Only because what we are going to learn in each of this file handling section is very important. So is it a special data type? Yes, it is a special data type, but it is not created by the programmer. It is created by the library developers. So it is a user-defined data type, but created by the language developers. So we can say it as a predefined data type. Definitely not a built-in data type. Definitely not a built-in data type. We cannot say it as a derived data type, but it is a predefined data type. Is it a pointer? It is not a pointer. It is a structure, but we need to create a pointer. we cannot create a normal variable of file structure. Why pointer is created? Pointer is created only because when you, to give an example, when you allocate memory dynamically on the heap, since the memory on the heap is unnamed memory, similarly, file is available on the hard disk. You are creating an image of that file on the RAM. Okay, and on the RAM there is a special section, special provision of the memory exclusively for file handling, which we call it as a buffer, if you can recall from the last lecture. But that is a buffer, special name for this kind of a memory on the RAM, where that file from the hard disk is, image of that file is created on the buffer. Now, since we want to write or we want to perform some operations on that file in the buffer, we have to do it remotely. And that is the reason we need a file pointer. So that's why file pointer is required. External name of a file is what the name is given to the file, right? And internal name of the file is the file pointer created by the programmer. That is the internal name. Once we create a file pointer, we are not concerned along with the external name of the file. We will be doing all operations on file using the internal pointer. Now opening a file. So if open function is there, it returns a file pointer. It takes two arguments. First argument is the name of the file, that is the external name of the file. Second argument is mode in which you want to open the file. Both are strings. That means you are supposed to write in a double quotes. The function takes two arguments, that is file name and opening mode. It performs, first of all, it performs three tasks. Major, okay, minor are there. I mean, informing to the operating system, then provide establish the link between operating system and your program, and yeah, along with the file as well. So that linking takes place. But operating system search file on the hard disk. The fopen function is executed inside the library. It searches for the file on the hard disk. Obviously, fopen function has to take help of the operating system because that is done by the operating. Now it loads the file inside the buffer, that is buffer on the RAM, and it sets a pointer to the first character in the file. That today I'm going to explain in detail. Intentionally, I didn't go into that details because I wanted to just cover the basics of first of all. And on error, if function doesn't cannot open the file, if it doesn't find the file, or if while opening the file, if suppose that memory in the hard disk is corrupted, whatever reasons might be anything, because some cells of hard disk are corrupted after saving the file. In that case, you cannot open that file. So in that case, fopen returns a null. Okay, null has been defined as a 0 in stdout.h. That is a macro. This is what I have already talked about, and this is in a pictorial presentation. So this white is a file loaded onto the buffer, right? Now, this is the internals of a file structure. This is very important. Here on the right hand side, there is a hard disk and file exists which we want to open. On the green zone on the left hand side, I have shown you the RAM. Inside that RAM, far left, there is a source code which you have written, right? Because you have written the source code, and that is available in the, as I told you in the first chapter, when you write an C program, operating system gives you minimum two segments, one data segment, one code segment and another data segment. In that code segment, your program resides. So that is a source code segment. Inside source code, you might have written many variables, right, to store the data. So for that variables, separate memory is there, which we call it as a code segment, right? Again, that code segment, there is a uh, stack, there is a heap, there is a global and static. That everything is going to be there, right? No, inside data segment. Sorry, I have written that wrong. It is not a apology for mistake. Read that as a data segment, not code segment. I have made a mistake while writing that. So inside that, whenever you write the program, we have, if you can recall from the program yesterday, there is a one pointer we declared, right? That is a FP. Hmm? Better I will explain this because here I cannot click this. If I click this slide, it goes to the next slide. I will share the screen and so that I can open PowerPoint presentation. Fine. Here I can explain you at the same time I can show you the program as well. As I said, I will go very slow as far as file handling in C is concerned. Okay, so you have to keep lot of patience to understand this chapter. Okay, I'm not going to make hurry. Otherwise, file handling is usually taught in just 1 or 2 hours. I'm not going to do it. So if I declare file pointer, suppose fptr, so fp in the diagram I have taken as fp, right? And the next statement we write as a open function, and we send argument suppose as a suppose my details dot txt, right? I'm going to write the mode. I will come to that afterwards, right? So this is a function for opening the file. Opening the file in write mode, right? So what are the tasks? The function searches for the file. Okay. Then, since it is write mode, if it is found, it is loaded inside buffer, right? If it is not found, this statement is only for the write mode, right? So if it is not found, it is created. Okay, the new file is created. Right? If it is found, loaded inside the buffer and clears the contents. I mean, when you open the file in write mode, then if file exists on the hard disk, all contents are cleared, right? And fresh file is there, right? Everything is cleared. Okay. So while using the W mode or W plus mode, I'll come to that. You need to be very careful. Read mode, append mode are comparatively um, safe, but write mode is dangerous. If you try to open any existing file using the write mode, the file will be open, but all contents will be erased. All previous contents will be erased. Now, but it creates a new file, right? Then it creates a file pointer. Okay? It returns, not creates, it returns a file pointer. Now, this sentence is very important, which I'm going to talk on this today. I talked about this in the last session, but I'm going to talk more on this because you need to understand this. Because as far as slide is concerned, the current slide is concerned, I'm going to talk about internals of the file structure, how it works. Because on that, too many details are not there. Now come to the our slide. What I want to talk, this is a buffer, right? And this file is image is created. That's why I have changed the color. Okay, slight color difference is there between this file and this file. So this file is a replica of this file. Now, usually there is an impression that it it creates a file, right? It loads the file, and this file pointer points to this location. Since this is a file, its address is stored. Last time I had said the same thing, but it was in the first phase. Okay. So I didn't go into the details so that you are not you don't get confused. This is everywhere taught. Okay, but that in a true picture is quite different, right? So file pointer doesn't point to this file. No. File pointer points somewhere else. So where does it? What I have shown in the diagram. So suppose there is one structure. There is one structure. Was student. I have to teach some basics again so that you understand what I mean. Suppose int roll number, right? And care grade. These are two data numbers, right? If I type this, so definition of the structure is like this, right? If you create a pointer, right, you can create directly at student star stdptr, right? But this is stdptr is just a pointer. It cannot, I mean, that pointer cannot have details of that. There should be another variable. So there can be a variable like student S, right? And you can write stdptr is equal to ampersand S, right? How this will look? This will look like this is a variable. This is taking 4 bytes. This is taking 1 byte, right? So total 5 bytes of memory will be allocated, and this name is S, right? And we have created one pointer, and the name of this pointer is stdptr, right? And address of this structure variable is stored here. I'm going too much inside the subject. Okay, this is just revision, right? Now you can write the statement like this: stdptr. I hope you can recall all these things. stdptr arrow roll number is equal to suppose 101, and stdptr arrow grade is equal to suppose k, right? You can do this, right? This is valid, right? This is perfectly valid. But now, suppose I create a copy of this here. And suppose this is a file structure, right? Which is designed and developed by the library developers, right? These are some datas. I'm not going to write all data members. A single data member I will write. Here, star, anything I will give now. I'll give some name. PTR. Alright. Now, what I mean here, we can write this. Rather, we write like this, no? File star FP. I'm just comparing with the earlier structure, user-defined structure. But we cannot write like this. File S. This is not allowed. Okay. This is not allowed. Now this is not allowed because this is a opaque pointer of the file structure, right? Like opaque pointer is related with here. Okay, this is not allowed. You cannot create a pointer. You cannot create a normal variable. But if you can do this, this is valid. This is invalid, right? Now, since this is a valid, we have to use this. But again, this is not valid. FP arrow BFPTR. This is not valid. Suppose some data is there, like int buffer, int, suppose file size, right? We cannot write like FP arrow file size, right? Like, you cannot write like this, right? Was 4 5 like this. This is not allowed. Okay. I mean, this is not allowed also. How you will assign the address? That is the reason this FP has been kept as a opaque pointer. Okay. Invalid because it is opaque pointer. But at the same time, this FP we want to use, no? Without that, how you can access the file? So for that, why they have done this? You cannot create. That is a big problem. You want to use this, and since this is a file pointer, some kind of variable must be there, right? Some kind of variable must be there. So what they have intelligently done is that consider this as this, right? Again, I will tell you. Consider this file structure variable as this, right? So what it does, what the f function does, as soon as the image is created, it creates a variable, file structure variable inside the machine, inside the RAM, right? And it has got all these data members. This has got all data members. So internally, this will be like this. Okay, suppose it has got 10 data members. So this is shown, I have in a vertical format here. Okay. Now one of these data member is a that pointer. Which pointer? BPTR. Okay. And this BPTR points to, listen this very carefully. I'm going to, this we are going to require always. This BPTR points toward this first character of the image of the file. Is that clear? First character. And that's why I have shown this here. Okay, here. This yellow marker. This yellow marker. Right? And this is a that pointer, character pointer, which points to the first character in the file. I hope somewhat it is clear, right? All rest of the data members are initialized by the fopen function. As soon as this buffer is created, so buffer is created, this variable is created, and the address of this variable is stored in the FP, right? So FP is not pointing to this, which is impression, but FP is pointing to this variable, which is created by fopen function. Okay, and pointer of this, and since this is a file variable, okay, address of this is stored in fp, which is a file pointer, right? So address of file variable is a pointer itself. And what will be the type? File type. Okay, that's why left hand side and right hand side of that statement, which statement? This is matched. fp is a file pointer and fopen performs various tasks. Okay, so it returns a file pointer. Why it returns a file pointer? It creates a file variable and initialize all data member of a file variable, right? One of the pointer data variable, character pointer data variable, points to first character of file, right? Automatically, and it returns a file pointer. It returns a it returns an address of file structure variable. Okay, and it is stored in the file pointer at the left hand side, right? So this whole process is created by the fopen function. That is very important to understand. Okay. I will share this file along with you so that, right? Now, suppose I will write simple program. Uh, no, I will first talk about the file opening modes and then I will come back here. Right? I hope something you might have understood. It is complex. Tried my best to explain you. Now, file opening mode. We will see file opening mode first. That's why I came to here. Now there are three basic modes, right? Write mode, writing the file, read mode for reading the file, append mode for appending, that is adding at the end, that we call it the append mode, right? So W is for write mode, R for read mode, and append A for append mode. In addition to these, there is another three are there, that is R plus, W plus, and A plus. Now all these six are for text mode operations. Similarly, there will be six modes for binary operation, binary file. This is the text file. Okay, we are dealing along with the text file. Okay, so we will concentrate completely on text file first. Okay, so that more confusion is not there, right? So right now I'm going to talk about the write mode. Okay, this mode is used to write data to the file, writing to the file, right? What is the second statement? Very important. If the file doesn't exist in the program, I wrote the same thing. If the file doesn't exist, this mode creates a new file, right? If the file already exists, then this mode first clears the data inside the file before writing anything to it. So whatever data is there, it is cleared and new file is created. Whatever new file is ready for accepting the input. This is what the write mode does. Now, uh, let's first try to understand diagrammatically. Right. So this is the write mode. Huh? Same here. Okay. The earlier image is there for the write mode, but if you can see, there is a difference. I don't know whether you uh, recognized it or not. So when the file is opened in the write mode, on the hard disk some data is there, 0101, some data is there. And in the buffer, I have not seen. I have seen it is a clear file, nothing is there. That happens along with the uh, what you can say, that happens along with the write mode. I will show it here. So suppose I will create one file. In the current directory, right? This is the current directory of which program, which file I have given sample2, right? So inside sample2, same folder, I'll create one file, text file, right? What was the name of that? I will save, right, save, right? This is a my details.txt. Okay, so I'll write some details. My details I'll write, right? Just the name. Slowly we will go ahead. I will save this, right? So observe carefully. This is one file created and I have written my name. That's it, right? Now let's go back to the program. Huh? And I will run this program. Okay. You will not get any output as such, right? I will write get ch function here. This is not part of this thing, but it's deprecated now. Get ch, right? So you will get warning. Okay. So I will run this program. Okay. Now get ch is working. That's why it has stopped. Okay. Because you will not get any output. But the file has been created, right? File has been created. Now let's go to that folder and let's see. There are no contents here. Why? File was there. File was there. But contents which already we kept, they are lost. Okay. Again, I will write. Right? Again, I will write the content. Save this. Right. Now, suppose I will write. Again, I will show you. Okay. File is created. Right. Again, I will show. Contents are lost. Right. Now, I will create I'll give another file, right? Because we need to check since file does exist. I said you that if file exists, contents are overwritten. If file doesn't exist, then new file is created. Let's check. For that, I'll have to give another name so that we can check whether new file is created, right? Here getch is working. One single key press. That's all. We'll go back. Here, new file is created. Got that? And we have not done any operations, so it will be also empty, right? Not that? Okay. So I hope this whole explanation is now clear. Okay. Now, how to write to the file? Now we will write to the file. Okay. We will write to the file mydetails.dx. Right. There are various ways. First of all, we will write something like char name equal to uh, we want to explore the file handling. So I'm going extremely slow. Okay. Sorry if you are getting bored. Okay. But this is for your future, not my future. So suppose I use the name as my name is Chandra Kolkar. Right? I have stored my name. Hmm? I want to store this name in the file permanently. Okay. Because if I print this, okay, as percentage and name, right? It will be stored. It will be printed, right? It is there. But once I key press, it is gone now, right? It is gone. We don't want to do this. So what I will have to do is I will store this name now in the file. I will declare some variable as int I. This is a step we are giving, right? And I will write for I equals 0 less than uh, str. I have to fill. I have to include that file. I should include string.h so that I can get the length of the that string. So strlen, right? And I will write what name, right? Till that moment and I plus plus. And what I will do, I will uh, there is a function called fputs, fputc, fputc, right? Fputc is a function. Putc is a function to print single character on the console. Putc is a function to print single character on the console window. I hope you can recall it. I have explained that. Now, fputc is a file function, so it will not send that character to the console, but it will send the character to the what file. So it is taking arguments, right? So I will send argument as name comma I, right, comma file pointer. Let's see how it works. This kind of program I have not written, but I'm going drilling deep inside, right? And I will remove this now. I have to close the file. So if close, what is the function of fclose? I will explain you. fp is the pointer. So it will not give any output, but we want to check whether this string has been returned to return WRITTN, not RETURN. Whether this string has been saved, stored in the file pointed by internal pointer. Internal pointer is pointing to the file which are sending, which are we are creating. So let's check this now. We have executed that program. Let me execute again, right? Let's check it now. Have you seen this? The Bhalchandra Golkar has been returned to the file, right? Just a basic program. This program is not written by while learning file handling. No, usually in the college or somewhere they directly jump on the first fifth step or 10th step, and students do not understand how it is going inside the machine. But this character by character, we have written a string character by character to the file now, right? So this is going to be there always. Okay. Got this? So this is the write mode. How string can be written, how various kind of data can be written, step by step we will go ahead. Huh? Another mode, that is a read mode. This mode opens the file for reading. So if we want to read the file, just reading, then R mode is perfect mode, write mode, right? Suitable mode. To open a file in this mode, file must already exist. Okay, so file must exist if you want to open a file in read mode. Okay, I will have to repeat everything. Sincere apology. Okay, so what I have done here, I have in the same program, I have commented this, right? We are going to check the read mode. So I have written the R here and file name is same. Okay, we will check whether file is opened or not. Okay, so if I run this code, it will say file open, right? File is open because we have given here message, right? So what does it mean? When you use the R mode, if file exists, then it will be open. If file doesn't exist, fopen returns null. So we have checked the condition. If fopen is equal to null, file doesn't exist. Okay. Right now it gives me the message that file open. That means file exists. And we know that file exists, right? But contents will not be lost and all these things, right? Suppose I give the name as my details 2, and run the code, then in that case, since my details 2 file doesn't exist, it gives the message as file doesn't exist, right? New file will not be created. On the contrary, when W mode is there, if file exists, it will be opened, contents will be lost, okay? That's overwritten. And when file doesn't exist, in case of write mode, new file will be created, right? So far we have seen limited part of, we have not read we have read the file, but we have not now retrieved the contents on the console. That we will do, okay, but step by step. So this read mode opens the file for reading, okay. To open a file, it must exist. This mode doesn't modify the contents of file in any way, okay. So no question of modifying the contents, not possible, okay. You can read only. You might have seen many files which are in read only format, okay. Use this mode if you only want to read contents of file, that's it, right. You might have seen that kind of a PDF file. It is a read only file. You cannot make any changes in all these things. Or you might have played on the Windows operating system. Some files you can make them as a read only. In even Excel file, you can make it as a read only. Okay? There is some properties. If you change that properties, right? That property, when you check any property, check and uncheck. When you check that as a read mode, okay, that argument might be no sending, might be no transferred to that internal program, the internal function, and that argument is uh, fitted into that function call, and it becomes a read only file. So this is how it works. That's why we learn C language. So what is important, if you want to read the file, only read the file, then we use the R mode. We will stop today, but before that,